Listen. Woo! Welcome to About Nothing But Sports, people. Listen, I know it's not just one other person with me. It's two other guys with me. This is a Sports After Dark special, people. We are playoff bound. All three teams. Let's give it up for all three teams. Playoff bound. I am Ashley Baker, your host, and I have with me the Sports After Dark crew, the illustrious Twitter space found exclusively on Twitter. My guy, Mark A. Gunnels, just a kid from Kansas City. KC, Kansas City, that's my guy. And my guy, Young Heavy. Listen, these are my guys. I'm so excited. We're going to get into this playoff preview. This is special. This is something that I didn't even drop on the timeline or to any of you guys via social media that this is happening. This is a surprise. So I want to welcome my fellas to the show. This is the first time y'all have both been on together on About Nothing But Sports. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, it's a pleasure to be on. It's been a while. First time all three of us are on here together, so definitely excited.
Definitely, I can agree with it. It's definitely been the first time that we all been together for the people to see, because they always see us together on Spaces, but this is the first time they get to see us, up close and personal.
I had to give what the streets wanted. The streets needed this. It's 2023. It's playoff football. My squad is in. Heavy, your squad is in. Mark, your squad is in. And we're going to talk about it, man. We are going to discuss all these games that we have in the first round, the wild card round coming up this week. I'm super excited. Mark's Chiefs get to take a break. So we will not be, of course, they don't have a game. So he's sitting back. He got his feet up. He's relaxed. No pressure, Mark, from you. Seriously, how nervous were you about y'all not getting the first seed up?
I wanted the first seed, but it wasn't like one of those situations where it was like do or die for me. But obviously you want it because it increases your chances of reaching the Super Bowl. Because now you only got to win 2 games versus having 3. And we had a couple of injuries here and there, a couple of knick-knack injuries that guys have extra time to heal up. So I definitely wanted the 1 seed for sure for the bye.
Let's just tap into this for like just a couple minutes because your team is not playing, but we do want to talk about the season that the Chiefs have had. Yes, I am one of them people. I did not believe that the Chiefs, well, first of all, I thought that the Chiefs would, shut up, Mark. I thought that they would be 1-5. I thought that the Chiefs was going to start off 1-5. I'm going to be honest. The schedule looked bad. I didn't think that y'all were going to be this explosive, without Tyreek Hill. We know what kind of player he is. And to be honest, I just didn't think that y'all were much to fear. Here y'all are, number 1 seed again, division winners again. All roads go through Arrowhead again. Talk to me, man. How are you feeling about that?
I'm not surprised. I've been screaming this all summer.
You're not surprised at all?
No, I'm not. I had us. Well, okay, I didn't have us being 14-3 though. I actually had 12-5, so I was 2 games off from the record. But I did have us winning the division and competing for the 1 seed. I didn't know how many games it would take to get it, but I knew we'll be competing for it. But here's the thing I've been telling people all summer and all offseason. It's like people forgot who Andy Reid is and what he did in Philadelphia when he didn't have a number 1 receiver. He only had T.O. not for that long. When he didn't have T.O., he had other guys that were just guys. And they were still a top 5 offense every year with Donovan McNabb. And now he has Patrick Mahomes, who is way better than Donovan McNabb. And he still has a guy named, Travis Kelce. Just one of the greatest tight ends of all time. So I don't know why people thought just because one guy was gone. And trust me, I know Tyreek Hill is generational. I've never discredited him once. I still love Tyreek. But one person is not going to stop the show when you still have Mahomes, Reed, and Travis Kelce. So I think now people probably learned a valuable lesson. So hopefully this offseason, we don't hear that nonsense again moving forward.
And check this out. And Heavy, you can kind of attest to this. I saw something on social that I wasn't aware of, which is y'all finished first in like total sacks.
No, we were second. We finished second.
Y'all were second in total sacks. My bad.
I think they were second.
The Eagles, was it the 49ers that finished second? My bad.
No, it was the Chiefs. They finished second. The Eagles
did y'all finish first?
Who, us?
The 49ers, yeah.
No, we finished it was top 10.
Who was first in total sacks? Was it the Eagles?
The Eagles.
Oh, it's the Eagles? Oh, okay.
It's the Eagles and then it's the Chiefs. They finished second.
Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know. So obviously, y'all's defense is a little, more threatening than what people think. I mean, when you think Chiefs, you obviously are thinking about y'all's offense. So, we don't really correlate the defense. But how confident are you in your defense going into the divisional round of playoffs?
I feel good about them. They played well the last couple weeks of the season. As you mentioned, the sack totals. And I know Nick Bosa is going to win Defensive Player of the Year, but I think Chris Jones should finish second. I think, your guy Michael Parsons kind of fell off the second half of the year. And people don't realize Chris Jones had 15 and a half sacks. That is impressive, especially from a defensive tackle. He's in the middle. It's different from guys on the edge like Bosa, Parsons. When you kind of get more one-on-one matchups, getting 15 and a half from the middle in the defense is really impressive. That's some Aaron Donald type of stuff. So
that's fair.
Chris Jones deserves a lot of recognition.
That is fair. I'll give you that.
I kind of said something about that.
Go ahead.
I kind of tweeted about that the other day, that even if he doesn't win Defensive Player of the Year, he definitely has to get recognized for that. To get 15 sacks as a defensive tackle is out of this world.
Yeah.
And it's not surprised that he made first team All-Pro, because he definitely deserved those. He deserved that honor.
Yeah. I will give him that. When you break it down like that, I will give him that. Who are you, before we move on, because we got to get to this first game. Mm-hmm. Who do you hope that y'all see in the divisional round? Y'all's first opponent.
Well, I mean, if you're being technical, I would want to see Miami or Baltimore without the starting quarterback.
All right, okay. For the sake of entertainment, bro.
You're going to take the easy route. Why not?
For the sake of entertainment, bro.
But I know neither one of those teams are going to win this week. So realistically, we're going to play the winner of Chargers and Jaguars. And I'll be honest with you, I don't want to see the Chargers the third time. That would be a tough divisional round matchup. I think we'll still win, but having to beat them 3 times would definitely be something that would be very, very challenging. So I would much rather see Jacksonville.
Yeah. Cool. Let's move on. Again, you mentioned those Dolphins. And they have a first round matchup against y'all's boy, Mr. Josh Allen. That's the tale of the tapes right here, people. There's no Tua this week. He's out, concussed still. So we're going to see Josh Allen against either Skylar Thompson, but most likely Teddy Bridgewater. So let's get into that really quick. Let's talk about y'all's prediction with that game. I made this game the first game that we reviewed for a reason, because I feel like that the Dolphins are going to get smoked in Buffalo. This is probably the quickest game we can get through right quick to talk and then move on. I don't see much resistance from the Dolphins in any capacity, and that's funny coming from me because they're divisional rivals. You know what I'm saying? They play each other in a division, but playoffs is different. We know that the Bills have a chip on their shoulder. They're definitely trying to get to a certain place this year, or they're gonna hear it from everybody in the world. I feel like we're gonna see Josh Allen boss up and do him, and we're gonna see a great game from. I think their running game is gonna be great. Singletary is gonna ball out. I feel like that Stephon Diggs, I almost called him Trayvon. Stephon Diggs is gonna have a day. I don't see much resistance. Does anybody know what the spread on that game is? I'm thinking is it like 14 points, something like that?
Last time I saw it moved to 13 when they announced Tua was going to be out.
Oh, that sounds about right.
That sounds about right. Heavy, I'm coming to you first. Your predictions on how this game is going to go and your final score prediction.
This game is going to be you might have to bring the yellow tape and the white shirts out there, because it's going to be first 48 in Buffalo. It's going to be a murder scene out there.
The weather's going to be cool, right? The weather's going to be fine. No inclement weather, right?
No, it's just going to be cold.
It's probably be cold, and I don't see much being Skylar Thompson. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think the score it might be 34-0. I don't even think Skylar will go out there and score. I'm being honest, not with no Skylar Thompson, man. In Buffalo, I don't even think they're gonna score a touchdown. If they do, it'll be last minute when the Bills are sitting on the sideline watching, waiting for the game to end. So I think it's 35-7. That'll be my prediction of the score.
So Teddy's not playing at all.
No, it's gonna be Skylar.
It's gonna be Skylar. And did you see Skylar against the Jets? He was terrible.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. Well, at least they made it. Mark, your thoughts on this? Could you see a possible, not upset, but at least seeing the Dolphins give Buffalo some go?
No, I can't. I mean, it's when you got to think on
Dolphins fans, Richie. We tried, Rich. We tried. I tried.
You got Skylar Thompson starting. Like, even if it was at least Teddy, I can at least have some type of confidence in them. Because at least Teddy has some experience as a starter. You know, he's won some games. Skylar Thompson is a third string quarterback for a reason. He has little to no experience. Like Heavy said, you saw what he did against the Jets this past week. They didn't even score a touchdown. I think they even scored a touchdown. It was all field goals. Yeah. Yeah. So you're going into the atmosphere in Orchard Park. It's going to be cold. They're going to be rocking. Obviously, they're playing for DeMar Hamlin, too. They have that factor going with them.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a crazy atmosphere there for the first playoff game. They're going to a buzzsaw. I don't see any pathway to where this game is even close at all.
They're going to be jumping through tables at the, at the tailgate. It's going to be crazy.
And on the other side of the ball, the Dolphins defense is very vulnerable as well. You know, they have a lot of weaknesses there on their defensive line. You know, they don't get a lot of pressure, even though they traded for Bradley Chubb. I haven't really heard his name since they traded for him. And they gave it a first-round pick for that guy. So, I mean, it's going to be ugly. I think Josh Allen's going to have a field day. It's going to be a party there. Like you said, they're going to be jumping through tables. It's going to be ugly.
It's going to be WWE all day. What's your final score prediction?
I think they might score 40, man.
I'm
going to say something like 42-13.
Wow. All right. I'm agreeing with y'all. I'm still keeping in mind that it's divisional. These are professionals. So I will give them 14 points. I think somehow they find a way to score 14 points, the Dolphins. But I agree. It will certainly be something along the lines of like 38-14. Again, Smoke City. In Orchard Park.
The Bills to cover the 13.
Yeah, they're definitely going to cover the 13.
They'll
definitely cover the 13. That's without question. Even do some alternate sprays if you need to, but it should be a cakewalk. Yeah. All right, so next game, fellas, we are rolling to the Bay. That's right. We rolling to the 49ers.
Running Santa Clara
versus Mr. Geno Smith. Another divisional matchup here. You got Geno Smith. I didn't read the stats of the first folks, but you got Geno with 42-82 in yards. Purdy with 13-74. Listen, he came in mid-season, but he got 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Geno Smith with 30 TDs, 11 picks. You know I got to start with you, Heavy. I started with you last time. Mark, I'll roll back to you when we come back around to the next game. But I got to start with Mr. 49ers himself. I want to say, do we feel like this is a smoke session as well? But I think that the Seahawks are going to give y'all some go, man. How are you feeling about? I mean, this third time, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. So tell me about your thoughts on that.
I mean, y'all heard my dog Leo in the background. He letting y'all know what's about to go
down. I don't hear Leo. You hear dog barking?
Yeah, he tried to let y'all know what's going to go down. But it's third time around. I just feel like there's nothing Seattle can do different that they haven't done in the first 2 games. I mean, both teams know each other. It's all about who's going to come to play better, who's going to turn over the ball the least, who's going to get the more turnovers on the other side. I don't think there's nothing else they could do. They only scored 1 offensive touchdown against us in 2 games. So it's just about we just doing what we need to do. No self-inflicted wounds, no turnovers, and just been playing ball how we've been playing on the streak. Do I think we blow them out? No. Will I be surprised if we blow them out? No. I think the game will be closer to what it was the first time. I'll say 24-17. We'll win that game. I think it'll be close because Seattle always gives us a run for our money. They always do. But I feel like Brock Purdy will get a win of his belt. I won't be surprised if Brock come out a little nervous. Playoff game.
Yeah.
I think he'll settle in. By the second half, we'll do what we need to do to pull away.
Do you see any possibility of an upset? Do you feel like it's going to be any times this weekend when your heart is going to be out your chest like, yo, what are we doing?
No, even to the point where Adam Peters got requested for an interview for the Titans and the Cardinals. He declined that interview because he wanted to focus on us and our playoff run. So that's letting me know that the whole organization is locked in on what we could do this year. They don't want no distractions. So that let me far know that this team is locked in and they trying to make some noise. So no, I'm not worried.
24-17, you said.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
Gunnels, I'm coming your way.
Yeah,
you gotta talk to me. I know that you've been pretty high on, what the 49ers have been doing. You've been very, look, they've been balling, they look good. Talk to me.
Yeah, so one thing I think that's key to mention about this game, and obviously this can change, but I checked the weather. It's supposed to be a lot of rain during this game. It says heavy rain up to maybe an inch of rain and maybe throughout the whole game. And I think that could favor Seattle because we have the talent gap because obviously the Niners are more talented. So when you have inclement weather, it kind of seduces that talent gap a little bit because now it's going to be a little sloppy. Guys may fumble unexpectedly. Purdy ball could slip. Weird things can happen when you have weird weather like that, especially rain. So that I still think the Niners are going to win this game, but I do think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. I think you're looking at maybe a little bit lower scoring game considering the weather factor. I'm thinking like a 23 to 17 type-ish game. But I do think the way the Niners can run the ball, I think it kind of negates the rain factor because I do think they can run the ball on Seattle, right? And then now you got Debo back, obviously CMC and that physical offensive line. So they will be able to run the ball. But I do think it's going to be a little sloppy as far as some turnovers that you probably aren't used to seeing from either team, which can make the game a little weird considering if the rain forecast holds up.
I will say this is that this is opposite of the game. Did you give me a score prediction, Mark?
Yeah, I'm thinking put me down for 23 to 17.
23-17. Oh, okay. So
pretty close to
similar. Yeah. I'm going to go the opposite direction. I think that because this is a divisional game, it will be close. I didn't know that the rain was a factor. Like you said, it is going to be. So I'm going to make it even closer. I think it's going to be something like 19-16. 49ers. I do believe that the 49ers are going to get it done. I understand, like you said, the weather will suppress kind of all the talent that they have. Hey, it may even make it tough for Brock Purdy. This is going to be his first, game out there. This is going to, he's going to be throwing out. Has he played in wet weather yet? You know what I mean? That's going to be new for him. He loves George Kittle. That's his guy. We're going to see what Debo can do. Obviously, that may slow down CMC a bit, like you were saying, Mark. So I think this might kind of be more of like a field goal-ish game. I'm getting that vibe. I'm getting the vibe that as great as y'all are, the Seahawks are not going down without a fight. Like it's just not happening. But y'all, I'm not gonna say y'all gonna win on a field goal, but it will be a field goal-ish kind of game. Maybe just how I feel. I'm excited though. I'm excited to see that.
As long as we get the win, I don't care.
You see,
it could be 6-3 for all I care.
What you mean, Mark?
Tell him what Pete Carroll said, Heavy.
Talking about something. He in his press conference, like, unfortunately, we play the 49ers. They're a great team, and they got all these weapons. Yeah, try to hype us up. I said, Pete, come on, dog. We know what you. We know.
Oh, he tried to do some reverse psychology on y'all.
Yeah, like Pete, we know what you on. We know what you on. Like it's all good though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He knows y'all. And obviously he's not the offensive mind that Kyle Shanahan is, but I still expect it to be some type of chess match.
Absolutely.
To the best of Pete's ability, because again, he's not working with all the talent that y'all are. So I got y'all. 19-16. We shall see. Who would y'all play in that next round?
It just depends.
I think we would play. Yeah, we would play the winner out of the Vikings and the Giants, I believe.
Oh, you might as well punch your ticket in. Just go ahead and punch that ticket in to the NFC Championship now.
Not necessarily.
Because
if the Giants win, assuming the 7th seed, which is who's the 7th seed? It's the
Seahawks is the 7th seed.
Yeah. So if the Giants win, they would actually play the Eagles. Which means if the Niners win, they'll play the winner of Bucks.
We'll play the winner. Oh, you are right, Mark.
Because the Eagles will play whoever the lowest seed is.
Okay, so what you're telling me is I need to be a Vikings fan this weekend.
You should be.
Yeah.
Because there's a chance y'all will see us in the second round.
If you don't want to play the Niners next week, then yes.
I didn't even think about that, Mark. I didn't even think about that.
And we'll get to. I'm not gonna spoil my prediction for that game, but we'll get to.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, well, we'll see. I'm intrigued. Y'all play Sunday, Heavy?
No, we play Saturday. We got the first game.
The first game of the playoffs.
Yep. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next game. We got the Vikings. We were just talking about the Vikings and the Giants. Daniel Jones versus Kirk Cousins. Saquon Barkley versus Dalvin Cook. Jettas is going to be out there versus, I don't know who their wide receiver would be. Daniel Jones, 32.05 as far as yards. He got 15 TDs, 5 INTs. Kirk Cousins always going to put up at least 4,000 yards a year. He got 45, 47, 29 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the year. This is a pick'ems game for me, fellas. I don't know which way this game could go. And it sucks because it should obviously and clearly be the Vikings. And I have said religiously throughout the entire season that you can't be going into the playoffs playing with your food. And it seems like that was just the theme of the Vikings all year. I mean, for God's sake, they went down 33 points against the Colts. It was 33, 35, something like that. They went down 33 points against the Colts, came back, but that's not going to fly with playoff football, bro. Saquon is going to come ready. Brian Daboll, he got them. Is he going to get coach of the year? They'll probably end up giving it to who? Nick Sirianni, but he is certainly in the conversation for coach of the year. He has definitely turned them around, and I hate to say it. I absolutely hate to say it as my division rival, but they looked good for the majority of the year. They fell off, but for the majority, they started off 6-1. They looked decent for the majority of the year, and they kind of got hot going into the playoffs here. So, Mark, I'm coming to you.
Yeah, so first of all, I think he absolutely is going to win Coach of the Year because, with Nick Sirianni, people knew the Eagles were going to be good this year anyway, so it wasn't a surprise.
Okay.
People had the Giants only winning 4 or 5 games this year, so I think he should definitely win it, or even Pete Carroll. He should be in the mention as well.
Or head coach, Lions head coach.
Yeah, but they missed the playoffs though. So he's not.
But they still had like a winning record.
Yeah, but he's not gonna. Yeah,
you got to at least make the playoffs though.
What's his name again?
Dan Campbell.
Campbell.
Yeah. Campbell. But this game, I'm going with the New York Football Giants, man.
What?
To me, this was an easy upset. I don't even think it's really it's not even an upset to me for real. The Vikings are only 3-point.
I'm cracking up over here, y'all, because Mark is wild.
The Vikings are only 3-point favorites. And with the record difference, they should be way bigger favorites, right? So Vegas is even telling you they're not even better. They're only getting 3 points because they're at home. So this is an evenly matched game. They just played 3 weeks ago, and they needed a 61-yard field goal to beat this team. So when I consider that factor, that they just recently played, the Giants remember that game, and the Vikings are frauds. We all know that. We've all agreed on that.
Facts.
Give me the Giants. I think they're a better coach team. I love Brian. I think he's a great coach. Danny Dimes is playing good. He's Vanilla Vic. That's what they call him in New York.
Why are y'all allowing this to happen?
Hey, that's what they call him in these
streets. He has 7.
Yes. Mike Vick, if you listening to About Nothing But Sports, Sports After Dark edition, I'm not condoning that. I'm not.
That's what they call him in these Twitter streets. Vanilla Vic. That's what they call him.
The guy has 7 rushing touchdowns.
I blame Vinny.
Over 700 rushing yards, I believe. So the guy's a dual threat quarterback. Whether you want to believe it or not, he is. And when you
whoa. Okay. What? Now that's a stat I did not know. He got over 700 rushing yards?
I believe so. He's up there.
That's close to Justin Fields got like 1,000 rushing yards this year.
Daniel Jones is up there in rushing yards for sure.
Okay, my bad, Danny Dimes.
And he got 7 rushing touchdowns too. So yeah, he's been balling, man. And when you factor in that with Saquon Barkley, I think they could run on this Vikings team. This Vikings defense is Swiss cheese, man. Like, you can move the ball on them. I mean, we saw the Colts, like you said, they scored 33 points in the first half on them, and the Colts offense stinks.
Yeah.
So I think the Giants win this game. I'm not even hesitating at all. Give me the Giants on the road in Minnesota.
Wow. That's just crazy. I for one, I believe that Saquon will probably run for over 150 yards. Like, I just would not be surprised if that happened. They don't have to worry about weather. They're in mini. You know what I mean? I feel like he is going to have the game of his life, and this would be his first playoff appearance. He's going to show off.
And I just looked it up to be exact. So Daniel Jones rushed for 708 yards with 7 rushing touchdowns.
I did not know that. I'll check Danny Dimes. I really did not know that. I didn't know he was like that.
He's a dual threat.
He's a dual threat for sure. All right, Heavy. What you said? What's your final score prediction?
I didn't give a score, so give me Giants 27-24.
Maybe off a field goal?
Potentially.
Oh, that would be disgusting work for that would be
disgusting.
Since this is the Sports After Dark edition, I am going to randomly be shouting out our Sports After Dark family. Carlos, boy, if y'all lose to the Giants, you better have all 10 toes in Sports After Dark, because y'all know we're going to have a space one up. You better have all 10 toes. And God, just bring your earplugs, because Vinny and Chef are definitely going to get on my nerves if the Giants happen to win this game. Heavy, what's your thoughts? Where you at with it?
I got to go with my right-hand man, Mark.
No way. No way.
I got the Giants, too. And for a lot of the same reasons he said. Took a 61-yard field goal to beat them in Minnesota at home. Was they in Minnesota?
It was in Minnesota.
And they were at home. Yeah. And did Mark say for you to be a 3-point favorite and you finish the season at what, 13-4? That says a whole lot. I feel like Saquon Barkley is going to be amazing in this game. I think he'll have probably like 160 to 170 yards from scrimmage. I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to put a lot of damage on them. And like Mark said, the Vikings defense is bad. And the Giants defense is pretty good. It's pretty good. They got Dexter Lawrence. Shout out to him. I think he made first team All-Pro as a nose tackle. They got a lot of their healthy players back on defense.
Shout out to Kayvon Thibodeau too.
Yeah, Thibodeau too. Oh. He's looking like that kid came on strong. So, you know, and like Mark said, Dabo got them ready to play, man. They said, they keep in mind with that field goal. They remember that field goal. They're going to remember it took a 61-yard field goal for them to beat us. I feel like they go up in Minnesota and get the job done. And I feel like they win by a field goal as well. They're going to smack them back in the face and win by a field goal. And crazy, my score was just even close. I got 26-23, Giants.
All right. Well, dang, I gotta be the lone wolf here. I understand that if any game is a game for a possible upset as far as the better team and then the not so better team, it is this game. I agree with that. But despite them being frauds, despite what we have seen from them all season, the Vikings have found ways to win these games. And that can't go unnoticed. That can't just be put on the shelf. And playoffs is when you really put that on display. Teams find ways to win the game. I think that regardless of how close this game is, and I think that the score total might be even higher than what y'all are saying. I think somehow, some way, Dalvin Cook, Jettas, Kirk, they're gonna find a way to win this game. It's gonna look sketchy for a minute. It's gonna look weird. But I think that the Vikings are going to find a way to do what they've been doing all season, and that's pull out games where they shouldn't have dug themselves in these holes, but they've dug their way out. And that's ultimately that's what good teams do. My heart would have been all over the place this season, but if Dallas was that type of team that can go down 30 points, like, can you imagine the confidence they have? They probably can walk into any building and feel like that they can beat anybody because they came back down 33. It doesn't matter. That was a professional team that they came back and won after being down 33 points. They probably feel like they can walk into any building, no matter how much they're down, and still win the game. That's a hell of a confidence to walk into in the playoffs. So I'm going Minnesota, finding a way to work it out. I'm going something around. I think that they are going to allow the Giants to put up some points. I'm going by a field goal as well, but it's going to be Minnesota 30-27. Okay. Bam! Let's move on. I can't wait for us. Are we doing our little, pick'ems? Because I need to go ahead of y'all because y'all caught up to me, and I don't really like that. So when I get that, you know what I'm saying? That win right there, that's going to put me over. That's going to put me over for sure. All right, real quick, because we got to run through this show. Joey B, no Lamar Jackson, but shout out to our guy, Roscoe, on the graphic, on the edits. It's going to be Joey B versus Tyler Huntley. This is a Sunday night football game, y'all. They made this a Sunday night game, right? Yeah. And we were all under the assumption that it was a Sunday night game because Lamar Jackson will likely be back. But I'm seeing from like Adam Schefter that like his progress is not even in the stage that they're looking for it to be in for him to even play this game. It's likely not going to happen. So this is probably one of those. I don't know what. Oh, it's another division game. We got a lot of division games in this wild card round, man. So Heavy, I'm starting with you. Joey B, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon. You know those guys in Cincy. You got Tyler Huntley. Shout out to it's THT, baby. It's THT. Let me tell you something. If the Ravens find a way to win this game with Tyler Huntley, you can go ahead and let Lamar's gonna walk. They're not even gonna look. They're not even gonna look into re-signing Lamar Jackson. They already re-signed. Who they re-signed? Who they gave all that money to? Who they gave that to? Roquan. That's already step one. Step one right there. If Tyler Huntley find a way to win this game, they in Cincy. If they find a way to win this game some way, somehow, and it's not super duper far-fetched, because if one division is gonna play each other super tough, it's always the AFC North, man. So I could slightly see some stuff just going bananas and it happening. You can kiss Lamar Jackson goodbye. They're not going to sign him if they find a way to win this game. But ultimately, I don't believe they'll find a way to win this game. I did all that for nothing. The Bengals are going to walk away with this pretty smooth. I think I'll make it quick. I think it's going to be, I'll roll with 31-20. 31-20. It'll be easy work, and it'll look, it's going to be worse than what the score is going to indicate. 31-20. Bengals. Mark.
Yeah,
Let me go to heavy.
Okay,
go ahead.
I got something close to the same score. I got 34-17. I think the Bengals is going to do their thing. You know what I mean? Even with Tyler Huntley, like, that offense don't really move. I feel like their defense will probably make it interesting in the beginning of the game a little bit, because the Ravens defense is pretty good. And they're going against a divisional opponent that they know very well. So I'll think in the beginning of the game, their defense will give them some type of energy. But, you know, like you said, it's Joey B, Jamar, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Mixon. And the Bengals got a pretty good defense as well. So I just 34-17 for me. I think they're going to walk past them and keep it moving.
Talk to me, Gunnels.
You got the same exact score as me. That's crazy. I had 34-17 too. Yeah, without Lamar, I don't see any pathway for the Ravens to win this game unless Joey B turns it over 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Yeah, but the thing is, their defense is really good, but they're going to be in the field way too much. They're going to wear down in the second half because their offense without Lamar would not be able to sustain drives and keep the offense off the field. So eventually they're going to get tired defensively, and then the Bengals are just going to run up the score in the second half, man. So, yeah, 34-17. It's a shame that we're going to have 2 of these games without starting quarterbacks. No Tua,
man.
No Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much trash can I really talk in Sports After Dark if they're without, like, Lamar Jackson? I can't really talk my trash to Miss Gina, Juice, Allen, AJ. I really can't talk my trash like I'm really, really want to, Nitro, because, I mean, they're going to be able to play, we didn't have Lamar. Absolutely fine. I get it. So, okay. All right, cool. We moving on because we got to move on. We got to move swift. Next game, we got the surprise division winners, the Jacksonville Jaguars, led by Mr. Trevor Lawrence himself against those Los Angeles Chargers. They have finally made it into the playoff under the direction of Brandon Staley and Justin Herbert. There's a lot of people that believe that the Chargers have zero chance in this game based on the way the Jaguars have been playing, Trevor Lawrence has been playing, the way Dougie has been coaching those boys. I mean, it's just complete turnaround from the disaster of what that team was last season under the direction of Urban Meyer. So, Mark, I'm coming to you. Who you got winning this game and score prediction?
Well, I don't know why people would think that, because this is the most evenly matched game of the weekend, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a classic. I think pretty evenly matched. Yeah. You have 2 young quarterbacks, their first career playoff games, who I think they're both 2 top 10 quarterbacks now in the league. Trevor Lawrence is up there, in my opinion, at this point. So, yeah, man, I think it's going to be a really good game. It's going to be in Jacksonville, so I'm going to slightly lean Jaguars. And then also, not to mention, the coaching advantage. I think that's really crucial. You have Doug Peterson against Brandon Staley, and credit to Brandon Staley. They made the playoffs, so he got that off his back. But Dougie P's been here before. He's won a Super Bowl. I think he has some tricks up his sleeve in this game, man. Ed Holmes is going to be rocking there in Jacksonville. Spody's going to be in the building.
Shout out to Spody. That's literally the only Jaguars fan.
Only Jags fan we know. Shout out to Spody, though.
So I think it's going to be – I can see this game being kind of high scoring a little bit too, man. So give me Jacksonville, another field goal game. Give me like 33-30. I think it's going to be –
wow. You think both looking at some type of shootout.
I think it'll be moving up and down the field. I think it's going to be showcasing the 2 young – bright young quarterbacks. That's first career playoff starts, and they're going to show out T-Law versus Herbo. think it's going to be a shootout.
I'm excited to see what Justin Herbert is going to do. Again, like you said, I don't believe why people feel like that this is going to be some cakewalk. We are talking about Justin Herbert here, and I'm interested in seeing, honestly, like Justin Herbert and how he'll be able to kind of maneuver against that Jaguars defense. Jaguars defense is good. So I'm interested in seeing, how this is another thing where, obviously Doug Peterson has the coaching advantage as far as his experience, but this might be another one of those things where we're seeing like chess match, type of thing. So I think the Chargers are going to win this game. And I think it's going to be somewhere along the lines of 27-20. I'm going Chargers 27-20. What's up, Happy?
Crazy, you know what I mean? Shooter, great minds think alike, because I got the Chargers too in this game. I think, like you said, I think people feel like the Chargers don't have a chance, for one, because the Jags beat them earlier in the season. They definitely beat on them. However, didn't have a lot of key players in that game, and they're going to be playing in this game. I said earlier in the week, I feel like the Chargers, from a talent aspect, they have the better talent. Yes, the Jaguars have the better coach, but the Chargers do have the better talent. And I feel like the Chargers' talent could outplay what the Jags have on the other side of the ball. I agree with Mark. I think it's going to be a shootout because I think Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert, they're going to put on the show for the people. And I agree with Mark, too. I think this is going to be the best game of the weekend. I feel like these two young quarterbacks is definitely going to get into it and make it happen. I'm excited to see it, but I like the Chargers 37-30.
Okay. All right. 37-30. That's crazy. All right. Well, that's the end of the show, people. We really don't have to review the Monday Night Football game. We really don't. We can keep it moving. We don't got to. People got to be on other shows. Fine. It is what it is. We will preview.
Hey, Mark, you see that?
Bro, we really don't. We really don't have to do this. We don't have to do this.
I'll say, we got 5 minutes.
We got 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes, man. All right. Tom Brady, my Tom Brady. Y'all don't know. I'm struggling here. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers host the Dallas Cowboys under the direction of Dak Prescott and Mr. Mike McCarthy. Dak Prescott with a league-leading 15 interceptions. He does have 23 TDs with 2,800 yards, a little over 2,800 yards. Meanwhile, the down year of the GOAT himself, he still managed to put up almost 4,700 yards of 4,694. He got 25 TDs, only 9 picks. Oh, God. I've been dreading this. I've always thought, oh my God, what if Dallas sees the Patriots in the Super Bowl? And then I was like, you know what? After all those years, I was like, there's no way. Dallas isn't getting there. And then when he came to Tampa, I was like, okay, now my stomach is really in knots because now it's a stronger possibility that they see them in the playoffs.
It almost happened last year in the first round. Remember?
Bro, yeah. Here we are, year 3, and Dallas, Tampa. So I'll go ahead and give my thoughts first. Listen, I do not like the way Dallas has played the last 3 weeks. I have some inside information. This was actually talked about on with my girl Aisha on the Girls Talk Boys Talk podcast. So this is not something that is private information. I really can talk about this. I don't like the fact that Mike McCarthy hasn't had my boys at a padded practice in the last 3 weeks, which could very well contribute to the fact as to why they have been looking so lackadaisical and so unprepared the last 3 weeks. I'm hoping that they slept in their pads this entire week, okay, because they need to go into Tampa with some type of motivation. I would have wanted Dallas to go into the playoffs with some type of look of, we are here. We're going to give teams some go. You ought to be scared of us. I think illusion matters. I think perception matters to other teams. And we walking in looking like that we going to piss down our legs. So that bothers me. If we could play our style of football, running the ball, running it effectively, if that can be decisive and limit the turnovers, we don't need any turnovers. Any extra possessions for Tom Brady is a no-ski. We need to make sure we pressure Tom Brady when he is on the field. We need to keep him off the field as much as possible. So time of possession is a big thing. If Dallas can do these things effectively, then Dallas will walk away with a win. I am not worried about that. Prior to 3 weeks, I had them blowing them out because Tampa's not playing well. Dallas will win this game if they do the things that I just said, and it will be somewhere along the lines. Tampa can't put up no points. They ain't really been putting up no points all year. I'm thinking that Dallas will be around 35-17. That's just my prediction. I'm rolling with my boys. 35-17. I'm coming to you, Gunnels. What's up?
Wow. 35-17. That's wild.
35-17 is crazy.
Wow.
So you got a minute and a half, Gunnels. My bad. You got a minute and a half, Heavy. Right. I got to get Gunnels off the show. He got somewhere to be.
All right. So I have the Cowboys winning this game as well. Definitely not 35-17. This is probably my least confident winner of the week. So I have the least confidence in the Cowboys of all the teams I picked to win this weekend, just because it's the Tom Brady factor, and you know it very well, so you can't even argue it because you talk about it all the time.
I give it to you.
So yeah, I mean, obviously they've been looking bad all year, but you know one thing about the Bucs that I've noticed, when they absolutely need a drive, they get it. And the Cowboys are going to keep hanging around. It's not going to be no blowout, because the way to beat them, you have to put them out early. You have to put Tom Brady down early this year.
Correct.
And they're not coming back down 20, whatever. They're not doing that. But if they're within 7-10 in the fourth quarter, kind of hanging around, they have a chance to win. But I think Michael Parsons has a coming out party. He's been quiet lately. I think he's ready for the playoffs. I think he's really motivated. And how can you not be motivated going against Tom Brady? He's going to want to bring him down. And I do think you guys can run the ball on them. The Bucs defense is susceptible to the run. And the question is, can Dak not turn the ball over? Like you said, if he plays clean football, Dallas is the better team, and Dallas should win.
Heavy, what's up?
Crazy thing. I guess we're going to 3-0 slide because I'm going with the Cowboys too. I think even though what they did against the Commanders, I don't think that matters. I think, some teams were just ready to get into the playoffs. So, you know what I mean? Cowboys, y'all been clinched y'all spot weeks ago. So I guess maybe y'all was just ready to get up out of that. I think y'all going to revenge that loss from earlier in the season when y'all played them. I also think what Mark said too, because Michael Parsons put out a tweet that he said, you know what I mean? He didn't care about making the all-pro team. He's focused on the playoffs. And I think he's definitely going to have his handprint and all in this game. If the Cowboys can run the ball, like you said, Shooter, if y'all defense come to play, y'all can handle business. I don't think it's going to be that score you said, but I think it might be a little closer, like 24-20. But I got the Cowboys winning this game.
All right, cool. Before the show, we was backstage on this, and my guys felt like that there were 5 quarterbacks better than Dak Prescott in this. And listen, in the playoffs, I said that I think that Dak is a top 5 quarterback in the playoffs, and y'all didn't agree. So, Mark, give me your 5 real quick. You got 10 seconds.
Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Herbert, Trevor Lawrence.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Heavy.
And I can still name Tom Brady.
I ain't even got to say that.
Stop.
He said the same 5 that I said. You could even throw Kirk Cousins in there if you want.
All right, that's it. I'm ending the show. Okay, all right, that's enough. Now, see, here we go with this Kirk Cousins again. Listen, thank y'all for tuning in to About Nothing But Sports with my guy, Mark Gunnels, my guy, Young Heavy. Make sure that y'all tap into Sports After Dark after these games. The playoff weekend is going to be lit. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. Gunnels, your Twitter, really quick.
Mark A. Gunnels on Twitter, Instagram, anything Mark A. Gunnels.
Heavy.
Young Heavy 24, same on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter. It's the same.
Make sure y'all tap into Sports After Dark, Sports A Dark _, and then tap into my page at Ashley Baker _21. In the meantime, in between time, see you on the timeline. Good night.